This video is for you and everybody else who has experienced mind attacks, maybe an awakening or maybe a glimpse, and then faded back into maybe even more strong mental attacks and wrongly become identified with them. Hey Dice, thanks for asking your question. I really wanted to get into this one because I think that it's probably the most common question for seekers on the path of enlightenment. You know, a lot of people end up having an awakening experience, like you said you did 2.5 years ago. So basically, the guidance for this, and first of all, let me say this, and I'm not speaking to you specifically, Dice. I'm speaking to everybody who is going to watch this video at some point. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed doctor, and I don't claim to help the person. I don't claim to help people. I claim to help conscious dissipation of personhood, or the identification with identity. I actually dissolve that, so I don't help the person. I'm not here for that. There's lots of therapists. There's lots of great methods for working through psychological traumas, and that's not what I do. I sympathize and have a lot of compassion for that. So I wanted to say that. The real guidance here, if you're not looking for therapy, if you're actually looking to awaken to your true boundaryless self, this is it. And there needs to be a distinction here. Right now, you're looking at the mind as it's a separate entity from yourself. And that's helpful up until the point where you can look at it and analyze it clearly. That's step one, and you've done that. But step two, and the part that actually creates change, is understanding that the mind is not telling you anything about yourself. The mind is just part of an arising. You've identified your mind as a narrative about yourself. And of course you have. It's describing who you think is in your body, behind your eyes. But it's not. Your mind is no more telling you about yourself than this dog sniffing the wall. You've just created a level of importance, a hierarchy of self. You created that. Everybody does. At some point, you'll see past it. If you stick with me, I promise. It's all I'm here for. So you need to stop thinking that the mind is reporting to you, or about you, rather. It's reporting within your awareness, but about nobody. That's a hard thing to grasp. But if you realize that you're just your consciousness, you're just the space of awareness in which everything arises. Everything is just arising. And if you give no level of importance, none of it speaking about you, it's all just arising within your awareness, equally, with equal importance. Nothing that's arising within your awareness is telling you anything about you. You being your fundamental essence as pure awareness, pure consciousness. If you can sit in this, then it doesn't matter what mind has to say. All these mental attacks can arise and fade whenever they want. Who are they speaking to? Not me. Not the true you. They just aren't. There's probably other teachers that can help you get from the space of the mental attack to this other space and give you a lot of lessons in between. I'm not the one. I'm here to bring you all the way. I'm here to hold people's hand in the very last step of awakening and bring them through the door of liberation. And that liberation happens when you realize there truly is no self. Your mind and its mental attacks are not attacking anything but space, anything but awareness, anything but pure consciousness. What's there to grab? What's there to hurt? Who's there to kill? Nobody. You're not who you think you are. You are just the spatial awareness in which everything arises. Mind, thoughts, emotions, physical pain, none of it is speaking about me. It's all just arising equally. I've given no level of importance. This pain I feel right now when I pinch myself, this is language. But truly, I don't think any more of this speaking about my true self, this pain arising, as the rain on the top of this shed roof. It's all just arising within the same space. Ah! Okay, back inside, buddy. Back inside. When we choose to see that the light that animates our reality is fundamental to the reality and choose to just sit in that radiance. When you make that choice consciously and you stick to it, of course you'll fade in and out, but over time, and not much time if you're sincere, the abidance just sitting in that radiance, and you don't need to be meditating, you don't need to have your eyes closed. When I say sit, I just mean you can be doing any activity, but you're grounded in that space in which nothing is speaking about you. Nothing is telling you about yourself. You're just that space, you're just that awareness, you're just that pure consciousness in which everything is arising and falling and doing whatever. Reality has the most interesting acrobatics, and it's so tempting to think that we are part of the acrobatics. We're not. We're the spatial awareness in which everything arises. So thank you, Dice, for your question. I hope that helps. I hope you're actually looking to become liberated, to have an awakening and stabilize within it. If that's true, follow this. If you'd rather do other things, if you're not quite ready for that, there's a lot of good teachers out there that will give you a lot of in-between steps that eventually you'll gain the courage to step through the door. And maybe that's now, maybe that's in a year from now. But this video is for you and everybody else who has experienced mind attacks, maybe an awakening or maybe a glimpse, and then faded back into maybe even more strong mental attacks and wrongly become identified with them. This is a radical thing that's being said. When the radiance that animates your personhood becomes more interesting to you than the activities of personhood and all the cool things that personhood can allow you to mingle with, then you're ripened for awakening and you're ready for this type of message.